Good morning from Kinloch, Rannoch in Highland Perthshire. This morning I'm going to go for a little mindfulness walk and you can join me along the way. It's a lovely area here and it's a lovely morning, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to flip the camera around so you won't have to look at my ugly face for the duration of this. There we go, that's much better. So we're going to start in the woods here, in the trees with a little bit of overnight rain, and there's a little bit of a breeze, but all in all it's a lovely morning. So coming around from the woods, we're going to cross a little bridge here over the burn. Perhaps you can already begin to hear the trickle of the running water as we cross over the bridge. A little stream running down and joining the larger river, the River Rannoch, that flows from the head of the loch down from west to east. We'll continue our little walk along this lovely new path that's been created. A nice new all-access path. That means people of all abilities can enjoy and take in nature and the great outdoors. Because for a long time it's only been really fit and healthy people that have had access to these wild places. So it's nice as we begin to become more enlightened as a species, that we begin to build access for people of all abilities to enjoy nature. And walking along this little pathway along the side of a river, we come to the old bridge crossing the River Rannoch. It's been here for over 200 years. A handsome old bridge with its 4 archways spanning across the bridgeway, spanning across the water to the other side. And it's interesting that such a simple structure like an archway can give such strength and resilience to support such a large weight, to carry it from one side to the other. And going underneath the archway, you can realize and take in the craftsmanship, the hard work, the endeavour and the scientific knowledge that managed to bring this all together, while watching all the way through the trees the river gradually flowing on through the woods as we walk through the ancient larch and birch woods. Perhaps on the way catching a glimpse of some birds, or perhaps a squirrel coming along. There's a lovely speckled thrush sitting on the ground in front of us, looking for a snail or a slug to have for his breakfast. Off he scoots into the holly bush after being disturbed by myself. Oh, there he goes, off through the trees, to find his next meal. And wandering through the trees, you can't help to think about the people who lived in this environment many, many years ago. There's Mr. Blackbird having his breakfast. Oh, Mrs. Blackbird. What's she up to down there? Off she scoots into the tree. The people who lived in what's now, or was considered back then, a harsh and difficult environment. But then again, human beings, being such resilient creatures, that they make do with what ever is ahead of them. So the land that we see here in the summertime and think upon as a very beautiful and green and lush environment, but back in the day have been a very harsh and difficult place to survive. But survive people did. And not only survive, but use the elements of nature, like the running water here, the dam, to make energy and power. Just as we make energy and power from nature. So it's interesting, is it not, how nature can also give to us energy and power, both mental, physical, psychological energies. And turning around from here and looking over the weir, we can see just about in the distance, shrouded in cloud, the peak of the mountain Schiehallion. Now Schiehallion is a very interesting mountain, being one of the most perfect pinnacle spherical peaks in the Highlands. Way back in the mid-1700s, an experiment was conducted using the mass of Schiehallion, the night stars, and a plumb bob weight. The scientists used these elements to work out the mass of the Earth, the planet that we stay upon, using the constants of the night sky, the resilience of the mountain, and their scientific minds to calculate the mass of the Earth, using science and nature together in perfect harmony. And here, as we look through the trees, we get our first glimpse towards. Okay, we've got a little bonus for you here. I didn't think we'd see the deer this morning out on a walk. I've seen them the last few mornings just having a little wander along the pathway. This time of year, the male red deer come down from the hills for some grazing, because this is such a quiet and peaceful village. They don't seem to be overly disturbed by people elegantly jumping over the fence, not being too worried. I'll stand right here and watch them for a little while. The magnificence of the red deer, the monarch of the glen, with her huge antlers, looking inquisitively over at this strange humanoid creature disturbing their breakfast. Oh, there's another one. Always a late comer to the meal, wanting to grab the limelight. Yes, you get to your breakfast. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The same number that we've seen every morning. 6 male deer, red deer with their big antlers, coming down for their breakfast from the hillside to the village. And I'll finish my walk and just let them go on for their breakfast. Still looking through the trees here. And we'll get down to the shoreline shortly. But we'll continue walking along this newly built pathway that's only been here for 6 months or so. Walking along, enjoying a lovely, somewhat cool summer morning. The spring turns to summer. Some of the spring flowers are still out, but beginning to get past their best as we get into summertime. Some wonderful nettles. Sometimes we all need a little jag in the right direction. And continuing to walk along, turning the corner, walking along the main street. It's difficult to believe that it's 10 o'clock in the morning and there's no sign of anyone around. Having a look at the lovely flowers in the garden as we walk by. Along the little minor road, underneath the trees, bushes, alongside the stone dike covered in moss, stone dikes, stone walls, being built out of different sized stones, an art and a craft that has declined in recent years. Mindful activity of finding rocks and stones just the right size and putting them together so they stand under their own weight and stay together against all elements of nature. And walking along this road, we come to the mouth of Loch Rannoch itself. The mountains and the trees on either side, looking much like it would have done hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Listening to the gentle lapping of the water, enjoying the view, the bird song, perhaps thinking of every stone, every pebble on the shoreline of the loch, as I thought or memory that can be washed or cleansed or changed by the lapping water. Being disturbed by an oyster catcher flying over, but that's nature. It has its own rhythm, its own time, and its own meaning. A meaning that we can all have individually. As we come to the end of this mindfulness walk, I hope that you've enjoyed coming along with me for this. We might do more of these depending if you enjoy them. Till the next time, thanks for watching Compelling Visions. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the future.